Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ocean Outlast Expert. I hope everyone is doing great today. I know that I am. We are jumping right back on into things today, and there is a ton of stuff we need to catch up on. I'm not going to run through everything though, just because there is a lot of stuff. So I have done a fair bit of things off camera, and then we also did live stream on, what was that, the 28th, Friday the 28th. We did about a 3-hour live stream. It was a little bit longer than that, but we kind of did half and half. We did a little bit of Borderlands, and then we did a little bit of this game save for Ocean Outlast Expert. So I'll run you through a few things. You probably already noticed a few things, but like I said, I'm not going to spend all day on it. If you do want the full recap, I highly recommend running over to Twitch. I have it linked in my description down below, and you can catch the full live stream recap over there. And if you do want to follow along on those live streams and get notified when we do go live, feel free to follow over there as well. So first and foremost, you might see on our hotbar here, we got a building gadget up and going. So this actually isn't too hard to craft up. You just need some electrical steel ingots, a little bit of diamatene crystal, some redstone ingots, and then a lapis ingot. Now these are easy to make. So the lapis ingot, you can just craft it up with some lapis, just like so. Very, very simple. And then the redstone is the same exact way, all redstone, just like that. Now there are some other options where you can save a little bit of the materials that you're using, as you can see here. But it was easier for me to do this because if you don't have pyrotheum yet, it's a little bit more straightforward just to use redstone or lapis. Now, the diamatene crystals we've done before. This is just some diamonds in front of our atomic reconstructor. Very straightforward. And then these electrical steel ingots, the best way to do them is if you have an alloy smelter. You take an alloy smelter with an iron ingot, a little bit of coal powder, tiny coal, pulverized coal. There's a whole slew of different options, but basically you want some form of dust coal, and then some silicone. Silicone is pretty easy to make as well. If I can get into the right one here, I'll show you. I think it's the Applied Energistics one. You could take crushed quartz and then cook it up into silicone. Crushed quartz, you just take normal quartz and you throw it into a grinder, and that'll get you what you need. So very, very straightforward for that, and that will definitely help us when building things, and there are a few things that we've already been building. So by default, the key binding for the building tool is set to G, so if you hold down G, it'll pop everything up like so. I'll run you through a few basics, I guess, just for those of you who don't know, but if you want a full in-depth understanding of the building tool, highly recommend just looking up some videos online for it, because this will not be a full tutorial. So there's a few different ways that you can have it build for you. You can have build to me, which will actually build it to you, which is kind of cool. You have vertical columns, so that's just straight up and down a one block wide column that goes right up and down. Have the same thing but horizontal, so horizontal, one block only. Then you have vertical walls, which are just, as they sound, they're just vertical walls, very similar to the vertical column, but obviously you're adding more space into them, and you can adjust that with the range down here. So this will make it a 6x6. And then same with the horizontal wall, very similar. And then you have some stairs that you can make, which is pretty cool. You have a grid pattern you can make, or just a surface space that you can make. Now for us right now, we have it on surface, and as you can see, it's kind of ghost highlighting where we would place stuff. And right now we have it set to wood, but you can switch it if you want to. Let me show you just really quickly how we can do that, and then we'll move on to the next thing here. So if you have dirt, you place it down, you shift, right click, and as you can see, it has now switched over to placing dirt. Now you do have to have that item in your inventory in order to be able to place it. But yeah, it is extremely useful when building, especially when you are terraforming. If you're terraforming a lot, it's a great way to be able to place all the blocks that you need down. Now, in terms of charging it, because it does take a charge, I'm just using our basic energy cube here. You put it right here on the plus side, and it charges it right up, which is awesome. And it does take a while for it to wear down on the charge. I mean, we were doing quite a bit of building on stream, and it was only a little bit consumed down. So obviously then the next thing you can see is we've probably done a little bit of work around here. So we've added some more foliage in here. We've adjusted some trees and added some more roots to these trees to make them look cooler. This one over here has been added, and we've adjusted our walkway here. So before we were going straight, now we go to the side, and we've started building upwards into the mountain over here. So I've started a path this way. We're obviously not going to get to it right now, but it's just for future use. And then obviously coming up here where we can start getting into some other things over here. If we wanted to branch off that way or branch off that way, we could do so. Or even if we wanted to stair step up even farther, we could do that as well. Now, probably one of the bigger things that we've done is over here. So as you can see, we've shifted our animal pen. We've put it over here now. And I do have a sound muffler over here because it does get quite loud with these guys over here. So I ultimately just put that in to just to keep it a little bit more quiet over here. It actually might sound a little bit too quiet. Yeah, it's so weird when you walk through that because you just lose all sense of sound, and then you can start hearing my footsteps again. So I just have the muffler on there for now, but we might take it off. But these guys are so loud. We have so many in here, and they're just so loud. But yeah, so I have this set over here, and before our farm, our animals were over that way. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of it for a second. Cow, Mr. Cow, he escaped us. Mr. Cow escaped us. That's fine. We got plenty. We'll get him back real easy. Yeah, and then you get rid of that muffler, and it's just right back to normal sound. So let's grab this soul vial here. We'll grab this bad boy, and we'll stick him back in here. So I did craft up a soul vial. I don't recall if I've done that on stream or not, but it's pretty straightforward to make. You just need some fused quartz and then a solarium ingot. And the fused quartz is pretty easy. It's all pretty straightforward. But you can click on a mob to capture it and then click again to release it. It makes it really convenient for moving mobs around. Now, as you can see, we have a whole slew of different ones in here now because only before we had cows. Now we have some pigs and some chickens as well. And I have a vacuum lader over here from Thermal Expansion. This doesn't take any power to actually run, which is awesome, but you just want to make sure that the redstone is always disabled on it so it'll always be running. And then have a chest and some form or fashion around it. So for us, we have a crate next to it. You do need to configure it in here. As you can see, we have it set to orange. Orange is the output, and the orange is on the side that the crate is on. Now it's just collecting everything that gets dropped in a certain radius. Now, the radius isn't really extremely defined, but it's wide enough that it would capture everything in here. And I'm mainly using this to collect eggs, because eggs would be extremely useful to have, and then we can also use them to duplicate our chickens as we see the need to do. Obviously, we now have a farm over here. I figured with our animals up and going in this pen, it'd be good to have some wheat and have some carrots going. And then also, as you can see this way, we have a huge new section of land that we have put in. So I'll come out here into the water so you can get an idea. Before, this was a waterway that just cut all the way through. And what my idea for it is to actually connect it up, kind of make it look like the island did extend this way a little bit more. And then hook it in using some of these, this cobblestone over here. Now over here, we have some cobblestone as well, creating a wall between the two, like you can see. But I just wanted to do something different. We do a lot of bridges between little islands here, which is really cool to be able to do. But I just wanted a big, solid, flat piece of land that we could probably do a little bit more farming on. Realistically, we could get some more farms on here, and then we could also utilize this island for something as well. So just expanding out, we did that all on stream, like I said, so if you are interested, go over to Twitch and check it out. Now, I'm rounding back here to our animal pen to go over this bad boy. So we do have a mob slaughter factory up and going. Now, you might be wondering why we have this going, and it's so we can produce pink slime. So this is the way that we produce pink slime, and now there's a multitude of different things that we have encountered along the way that require pink slime. For instance, our simple storage remote, the higher tier one, it requires 4 pink slime here. Now it doesn't really help us understand where we need to get pink slime from, other than saying we have to place pink slime fluid in the world to spawn one. So it doesn't really help us there, but ultimately it comes from this mob slaughter factory. Now it's actually not that expensive to make. If we pull it up here, mob slaughter factory, there's a multitude of different options that you can craft it with. Again, I've recommended this before. Steel casings are going to be your friend. They're the easiest to do early game. Well, early game for us in this pack. Just a little bit of steel, osmium, and then some glass. Very, very straightforward for it. And then obviously, as you can see, a little bit of plastic, gold gear, some iron swords, iron axes, and then a little bit of redstone, and it'll get you your mob slaughter factory. Now this does need power, and for us, we just have it hooked onto our grid power. Using our extra utilities wireless RF transmitter. And you can click on this, and it'll show you that it is serving this one singular tile. And you might be wondering why I have it set up like so, where it's like a little pen here. Well, it's so that we can kind of control how it is essentially slaughtering our mobs, unfortunately. As dark as it is kind of to say, it is just a good way to monitor it. Because we had this here, any mob that would come within distance of it, right in front of it, it would just instantly be killed. And we don't want that. We want to make sure that we're growing a population that we can then weed out as we see fit. So as you could tell when we clicked on this, we are pretty close. We only need, 30 millibuckets left? Just 30.3 buckets, something like that. I don't know how all of the wording works or all of the mathematics work for buckets in this game. I'm sure most of you out there do, but anywho, as you can see, we just need a little bit more. So we're just going to grab one of these guys. We're going to grab this cow here. Sorry, Mr. Cow, but it's your time. So we're going to throw them in here. They instantly get taken out, and we now have enough to get our bucket that we need. Or we should have enough, if I am not mistaken. Alright, I figured it out. So I actually had to take the bucket and just click on the actual fluid itself. I don't know why I was having such a hard time with it. It was actually pretty straightforward once it came down to it. But I just literally took the bucket, held it over here, and clicked, and it filled it up for me. It doesn't work over here. Like, I would have thought that maybe if you put a bucket here, it would fill it up. But it's just not how it works. So now we know. But we're going to throw this back up here. And as you can see, I actually had started crafting some stuff up. I got a basic fluid tank and everything like that. I was just getting prepared to try to figure out what we needed to do, because it didn't seem to be working for us for whatever reason. But anywho, so now we have our pink slime, and now we just need to place it down. And I figured, why not just place it over here? I mean, we built this whole new area. Let's just get a nice little spot open here, and we'll just put it down right there. I don't know, like, how long it takes or anything like that, so I guess we'll just have to kind of watch and see. We could even go back, and it is starting to get late, so we could sleep through the night and see if that helps. And maybe then it would spawn in the morning. So let's try that. Let me go. We'll take a nice little sleep. I don't know if you guys saw that up there, but something was stuck in our fan up there, in our solar wind turbine for some reason up there. But anywho, and as you can see over here, obviously we took out our little area where we had our mobs before, our cows. We took it out, we put some new trees in, and we have some nice stairs that are taking us downstairs here. Downstairs. Stairs to go downstairs. But we also did get in place over here a nice little way to automate our cobblestone generator into our tasks. So if we go into our quest line here, and we go to our player sell shop, right here, the 64 times cobblestone, you can sell this to get 1 coin. Well, I have this now set up so it's automated, which is pretty cool. I'm guessing our F1 still doesn't work. Yeah, that is correct. Our F1 still does not work. But we're gonna try to get a nice little snippet of that. But anywho, so what we did is we had our cobblestone generator, and I hooked it up to this task screen. So if we go into your quests and you go to the player sell shop, this automatic player sell shop, you come in here, you manually complete this quest. It's going to give you a reward collector as well as a task screen. So this is the task screen here, and you can right click on it, and it brings it up with this basic items here. And I'm sure many of you already know how to do this. Many of you probably already play a Feed the Beast mod pack where you have something like this in here with Feed the Beast quests, I should say. But for those of you who don't, just to quickly show you how I set mine up. So you go into the task, you left click on it, and you can select what task you want it to be completing. Now in our scenario, we are completing this one, the 64 cobblestone for 1 coin. You just click on it once again. Well, I clicked on it once again, but it is selected for us. And then you want to make sure that for us, input only is true. That's all you got to do. And as you can see in our case, it's going to be taking any of the cobblestone that's generated here and just automatically putting it into there. Now I did have this set up over here because if you do remember, I don't know if I actually went over it. Maybe I didn't go over it in the last episode. I can't honestly recall. But we had got the cobblestone generator up and going, and I put it into these compacting drawers. So we had a big backlog of cobblestone, and it was just stuck in this drawer. Well, now for us, what we needed to do to get that out, the easy way was to set up some item conduit from Ender.io and have it filter into the task screen. Now, if you are using a compacting drawer, you are going to have to put a filter on this to make sure that it's only taking cobblestone and not compact cobblestone. But I'm sure most of you won't be in that situation where you have to deal with that. So I'm sure you'll be perfectly fine. But for us, that is all completed. There was like 20,000 cobblestone in there. So obviously I wanted to make sure that we utilized that and that it was put to good use. Now, you know, the other thing that I should make sure of is that our claim chunks include our new area over here. Because obviously, we want that to be safe from creepers. Now, in terms of the reward collector, we have it right here. So you can put this anywhere that you want. The reward collector's down here. This is the drawer that I'm using. But you can put this anywhere that you want. As you can see, we don't have it right next to our task screen, but we have it up here in our base. And all it'll do is it will collect the rewards on tasks that you are automatically completing. So for us, it is the cobblestone. And so it'll collect it. And what I have set up is some extra utilities piping up here. And basically, it'll extract through a transfer node up into our drawer here. And then it'll just accumulate all the coins as we're kicking back and doing whatever we want to do. So just from a little while, maybe like an hour or so of this running, we've already accumulated 360 coins. Now we can grab this out. We'll just grab all of them. Actually, I'll leave a little bit in there. So what you can do, you have two different options. You can either click through every single coin that you have, or you can shift, right click, and it'll go through every single stack that you have on your hand, which is nice. It doesn't go through all of them, but it'll go through what you have in your hand, which is really nice to have. So it's a great way to have some automation to be able to get some coins, especially if you're trying to get some stuff from the shop. Now for us, the thing that I've been trying to get is dirt, because obviously we've been doing a lot of terraforming, and dirt is a key component in that. Interesting. We put the pink slime down, but we're not getting, it's now gone. Our pink slime is now gone. Interesting. Let me take a look into this, because that was the whole idea behind this episode, is we were going to try to get our next storage remote up and going. So let me do a little bit of investigating. All right, here we go. So I got some more pink slime, and for whatever reason, well, it did spawn a pink slime for us, but it's like highlighted. As you can see, even that squid over there is highlighted for us. I'm not really sure why, but this is what we want. We wanted to get this pink slime, and we actually got 3 from that, which is awesome, but it's not enough. We need 1 more, so I'm going to have to, unfortunately, do a little bit more mob hunting here to get some more pink slime to get that placed in the world. Now, the other option that you do have that you could get up and going if you so choose to do is you could get mob imprisonment tools and actually duplicate those spawns if you wanted to. So if we go to mob, I think it's in here. Yep, mob imprisonment tool. You could do this. You do need a gas tier for it. But then you could get a mob duplicator, I think it is, maybe. I think this is what it is. Yeah, I think it's the mob duplicator. And then you can put your mob in here and then use power and actually spawn it. Now, we did have actually a setup in our MC Eternal world, or MC Eternal playthrough, that we were focused around that, where you could do it. But for our case, we don't really need that many. So I'm just going to focus on what we need for the time being. And maybe at some point we will get a mob farm set up like that. But for now, like I said, we are just going to focus on the immediate need. So guys, with that being said, I'm going to get some more pink slime and we will be right back. Alright guys, so we got another pink slime bucket going here. Now I did do some tinkering because I was curious. We have that compressed cow over there, which is amazing to have. So basically a compressed mob is what, like 9 mobs in one. So when you kill that one, it'll distribute 9 more, or it'll spawn 9 more of that same exact mob. Now I was curious if I could do what I was mentioning before with the duplication, utilizing the mob imprisonment tool and then using a mob duplicator along with a mob crusher. Because in order to use the duplicator, you have to have a certain amount of essence, which the essence you get from the mob crusher. So the mob crusher will actually it'll kill the mob, and then it'll collect the loot as well as some essence, and then that essence can be then utilized to duplicate mobs. Now, for whatever reason, I couldn't get it working with normal mobs, so I'm guessing that it will only work with like hostile ones probably, or just ones that aren't necessarily like cows or pigs or things like that. I don't know. I had everything set up here, and I tried a number of different things getting killed in the mob crusher, making sure that it wasn't the mob spawner that was killing it, or the slaughter factory, and it was not giving me any essence at all. So it kind of leads me to assume that probably it doesn't work on normal mobs. Now, once we get our own mob farm up and going, utilizing it, then it might be a different story. We can test it a little bit more, but for the brief testing that I did there, it didn't work for me. So we're going to get this put down once again. And I think this was what our problem was with the first time. I put it in a small confined hole, and it did not then spawn the slime that we needed. Now, with it being able to spread out, I'm assuming that it's going to spawn one for us. So I'm going to hop on into the slime itself, actually, and move around and see if we get one that spawns in. Now, I'm guessing we would. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to have one spawn in here. Now, when it does fall off the sides, it actually destroys the block, which is kind of funny. It destroys the water blocks, the source blocks. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it actually spawns from the source of the pink slime, which is kind of cool. Now, it would be interesting as well with that to understand if you could use that with the mob duplication as well. I don't know if that one would work or not. But we are going to get our water here. I'm going to quickly fix these side things because, like I was saying, it does mess these up, which is kind of funny that it does. Let's grab a little bit more here and throw it right there. And then one more right there. There we go. All said and done. Cool. So we should have enough pink slime now. If I put this away and we search for pink slime, we have 6, which is perfect. So we do have enough to get our simple storage remote up and going. Now all we got to do, we can't actually, that's the thing. We can't actually craft it when we're utilizing the remote because we need the remote in the crafting recipe. So we do need to run back over to the base. Now the other thing I did want to mention is I also got this big pouch up and going from Tiny Progressions, which is pretty cool. This thing holds so much more than our little iron backpack did, and it was definitely a lot cheaper to do. I'll show you real quickly here. Big pouch, you just need some silver chests and then some hardened leather and some twine. The hardened leather is just leather with this pressed wax, and you can get the pressed wax from using a pot with these candleberries. And I have gone over those before. We used them previously for a different crafting recipe, so for us, we luckily had a bunch in stock. So we do need to come over here so that we can actually craft up this new remote. And you know what? We actually have everything. We should have everything. Now it's saying we don't have everything. Interesting. Hold on 1 second here. Alright guys, I have no idea what happened, but I think it was something glitched out when we tried to craft our remote within the remote, and it utilized the items, but it didn't actually give us the remote. So unfortunately we lost a decent amount of stuff. Luckily we had some backlog, which is good, but we do need more pink slime, unfortunately. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to place another one down here and let it kind of do its thing. And then the only other thing that we do have to get going then is stuff for this sea lantern. We just need a little bit of this prismarine shard, which luckily for us we can get by placing quartz in front of our atomic reconstructor. So that's going to be the plan. We're going to get a little bit more pink slime here, then we're going to go over and use our atomic reconstructor, and we are going to get our what we need to get our sea lantern up and going. So hopefully this guy spawns in here relatively soon. Unfortunately, we are still making a mess here. I just had fixed that side and I fixed the other side. And of course now it's going to be messed up again, but we'll deal with that later. I'm not too worried about it right now. Let's see if this guy will spawn in for us or not. He definitely is taking his time. Alright guys, it took quite some time for that pink slime to actually spawn. But we did get what we needed, and it was just enough, luckily, which is awesome. We got our prismarine shards, which is perfect. That'll let us get our actual sea lantern up and going. Let's make sure that we're in our different crafting here and not in our actual controller. And then with that, we should be able to get our simple storage remote up and going, the second tier one, which is awesome. So this should let us access our stuff from anywhere. Now I think we do need to link it though. Okay, I think it's linked now. Yep, so we can now access this from anywhere, not just 64 blocks away, which is awesome. So obviously we could, you know, access it from right here, but if we go farther out, we can now access it as well, which is perfect. This will make it so much easier when it comes to putting stuff away or grabbing things when we need them. So realistically, we could come all the way out here, and we'll definitely be, I would assume we would be about 64 blocks away, and we can access everything that we need from in here, which is perfect. That is such a nice feature to be able to have. I had a little bit of glitch there with that egg. Oh, it did spawn a chicken though. We did get lucky. And that did complete a quest for us. So if we go into our quests and we go to, well, Ender.io, we had some stuff completed, but it was under Simple Storage Network. We have our Simple Remote done, so we can get some monies and then some crates. And then there's the upgraded remote. Interesting, crafting and unlimited distance, but that thing is extremely, extremely expensive. Enderium ingots you need a black iron lamp, which black iron which glass, that's actually, that one isn't, that's not too bad. These, I don't know how you need to get these, actually. I'm not really sure. I mean, you could use that. Wow, okay. Maybe we could find that somewhere. I'm not sure on that. And then you need a magma slime crystal, which you need slimy magma mud smelted up, which actually isn't that bad. So it's not too bad to get the next tier if that's really what we wanted to do. We got, holy smokes, we got 5,000 coins off of that. 5,000 coins off of that crate. And then we got also a speed upgrade. Let's put that away. But let's go into our inventory here and go to our shop. Yeah, we're up to 12,000 coins off of that one. Holy smokes. That is pretty crazy. We did complete some stuff here, so we did get a speed upgrade from Mechanism. We're going to grab the rewards from that. And then our stuff from Ender Isle we will grab as well. So we were using item filters. We did make a conduit binder. And then we also got some basic item ducks as well. And honestly, with most of this stuff, we can just stick it away because we really don't need it on us right now. So we got a forge hammer, which I feel like we've gotten before, and then an enchanted heart, which reduces the difficulty, which is exactly what we need. I'm going to get rid of that forge hammer because we really don't need it. We have plenty of them hanging around, so that's perfectly fine as is. So we got our remote up and going, which is awesome. And of course it starts to rain. It would start to rain on us right here at the end of the episode, but that is what we are getting to, that time, the end of the episode. And we unfortunately can't sleep through the night. But even still, look at this, guys. We've only been going for a little bit longer here, and we've already collected another 137 coins in there that we can utilize, which is awesome. Just imagine if you just left this running for a while. It would keep going and going and going and collecting so many coins that you would, before you know it, be able to get some of those higher tier items within the shop. So, with that being said, we are going to wrap up the episode. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like down below, or better yet, leave me a comment. I know this was a little bit of a different episode because we were kind of catching up from a stream and then doing a one-off thing, getting a better simple storage remote up and going. But I think in the next episode, we are going to focus on some other things as well. So just have to stay tuned for that. Other than that, guys, I do stream over on Twitch, like I said. If you do want to check that out, I have it linked in the description. I also have my Discord linked in the description if you want to stay up to date with what's going on with the channel and the streams as well. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you sticking through till the end, I should say. I'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy.